Hey YouTube and fellow turfites, welcome back to my channel Down the Stretch. I'm your host Christopher Charlton. We have a 9-race card here. It's a very interesting contest. The last race, the 9th race, which is the Run Trophy. If you love speed horses, that's going to be a very nice race to close out the day. But let's get started with the first race. This is a very cheap race, 3.5 furlongs for the lowest of the lowest. I've boiled it down to 5 out of 12 horses, and is whoever legs hold out will win this race. But let me see who I boiled it down between. I boiled it down between the 3, Reminiscing Bowler, the 7, Beautiful Brand, the 8, Fiery Path, the 10, Matriarch, and the 11, Excuse Me Goodbye. I'm thinking the winner should come from one of these. Being 3.5 furlongs, speed is going to be a key. If you notice, I've left Silverstein. I just don't think the 3.5 going to suit Silverstein. Reminiscing Bowler, when that horse is sound enough, I think he's going to show a lot of speed and give a lot of problems for the other horse. Beautiful Brand, very fit. Looks the horse to beat. Matriarch is also super fit. Fiery Path can produce a late kick, but at 3.5 the time will be running out. And Excuse Me Goodbye, I think they're going to try to just get rid of this horse. I think something definitely not right with him. But being one of the youngest in the race, I think Excuse Me Goodbye is worth a shot here. So my top 5: 3 Reminiscing Bowler, 7 Beautiful Brand, 8 Fiery Path, 10 Matriarch, and 11 Excuse Me Goodbye. Moving on to the second event. This is a real, you have to go off hunch or feelings or breeding, because it's a 2-year-old race. Only 2 horses have started. That's the 2 Foxy and the 7 Queen Latifah. I've boiled this race down to 4. If I find 2 bankers on the program, I'll probably abuse everyone, but I've boiled this down to 4. That's the 2 Foxy, the 3 Lavisa, the 5 Unspun, and the 6 Sachet. Lavisa is working the best out of all of these youngsters, so you can't leave that one. Foxy ran a very good race on debut, was up with the pace for most of the way before being out finished. This is 4 straight, so that should be better for that effort. The 5 Unspun, working pretty nice at exercise, this USA Invader. And the 6 Sachet, Canadian bred, very well bred horse, has very strong pedigree from the Rowan Crichton stable. Interesting to see how that one runs, but if I was going by breeding, I would definitely pick Sachet as the horse you have to beat if you're going off a breeding. But as I said, I'm winding it down to 4, 2 Foxy, 3 Lavisa, 5 Unspun, and 6 Sachet. The third race, this is a mile for maidens, and I think this is going to be a 2-horse race. I think Legend of Zara from a clean break is definitely the horse to beat, but I'm leaning towards the Bay Machine. I think Jason DaCosta has programmed him for this race, and if Legend of Zara buck him to, it's going to be the Bay Machine, I think. Plus, it depends on the pace. If they allow Ruby's Light to skip away on the lead, and one of them have to go after Ruby's Light, it might set up for whoever is going to close. So that's going to make for a pace is going to make this race, but I'm leaning towards the Bay Machine to get the better of Legend of Zara. But watch Ruby's Light if he decides to get to the lead and try to steal it. Fourth race, 5 furlongs round for $1 million claimers. A nutty event. It's pace versus stalkers. Speed horses versus the horse that won't press them. If this was a 5 straight race, I'd probably bank rejected rather. It was over the 5 straight, but it doesn't seem to really like the bend, so probably he has knee problems. Maybe his knees turned out or something, why they don't really run him around the bends. But that doesn't say no. He could turn up today in this very small field, and with the expected pace in front of him, KP Choice, God of Love, and Cappuccino going to try set off fast. He has a real run to save ground coming into the lane, and if he takes the bends well, I think he's going to be a dangerous horse. The 3 God of Love, win on last, definitely speedy. Going to have KP Choice for contend with on the headlines. And 4 power ranking. Unlucky. The last time he faced the God of Love, he was on the rail. God of Love came in and took his ground. He had to be switched and still only lost by a neck. So I'm thinking power ranking is the horse I think they're going to have to beat. Freeman Class put 2 horses in the race to make sure this race goes through. So I'm leaning towards power ranking being the horse to beat. But I've wind it down to 3. Rejective Raja, if he takes the corner well, could run away from these. The 4 God of Love, the natural speed of the race, and power ranking, the horse I think they're going to have to beat. The 5th race, 8 starters, 6 furlongs. Oh, I'll boil this race down to 1 T Brady, 3 Duke of Springs, 4 Secret Traveler, and 7 Another Bullet. Another Bullet now 12 years old. I think this is the last horse to beat She's a Manita. So that's his claim to fame here. Another Bullet. Maybe he still has a shot left in the gun to fire. Depending on how the pace set up, I think Uncle Sil might be the horse to try to go for that lead. Hoping they don't just leave him alone and make him run away with it. But I'm leaning towards maybe Secret Traveler. He's the toughest horse in the race, 10-year-old. T Brady has some pace, so he might try to sit with Uncle Sil. And if they decide to go kamikaze style and rip fractions, I think Duke of Springs will be the one finishing the best, although burdened by top weight. So my top 4 again, going down: T Brady, 3 Duke of Springs, 4 Secret Traveler, and the 7 Another Bullet. The 6th race, very interesting contest here over the straight 5 course. I boiled it down to 4 horses. 1 Empress Links, last time over the 5 straight was a good second. The 3 Kismet, I think this horse is much better than he's showing, and from a clean break I think Kismet is going to be a very dangerous horse in this event. Lady Abimala, returning here. If this horse comes back 80% to her best, Samantha Fletcher in the saddle, I don't think it's going to be a race, but that's left to be seen. The next horse I would give a shot in this is probably Digital Light. Yes, I wind it down to those 4. The 1 Empress Links, the 3 Kismet, the 4 Lady Abimala, and the 7 Digital Light. The 7th, 6.5 furlongs. We have a field of 7 here. I think I'm going to go with 4 here. Premier Identity, the 2 Power of Faith, the 4 4-5, and the 7 Great Trick. It's looking like Great Trick is the horse you're going to have to beat. But I like the reading of 4-5, and I think 4-5 comes here in his best form. I think 4-5 wins this race, although Great Trick looks like the obvious choice, but I kind of leaning towards 4-5. Premier Identity from a clean break definitely going to cause some anxious moments in the stretch, and Power of Faith going to try to probably go to the lead, but I don't think he's going to get a comfortable lead. I think Last Dance and Great Trick going to press him early, so that it will set up for Premier Identity if he gets a clean break, and 4-5. So those are my 4. 1 Premier Identity, 2 Power of Faith, 4 4-5, and 7 Great Trick. The 8th race is the Reprieve Trophy over 9 furlongs, and boiled on paper, just looking at the program, I would boil it down. I would say between Provident and Brenda Boy, you know, the classic running horses. But I don't think it's going to be that simple going 9 furlongs. I'm interested to see Newness put Battle Angel in this race. I think Battle Angel is more of a sprinter that prefers maybe up to 7. So that is telling me that Battle Angel probably going to get to the lead early from the 1 hole and maybe try steal it. So this is going to turn out very interesting. The horse I'm leaning towards though is Oil Machine. I think that horse is a very good horse, and I think he's going to be the horse to probably challenge Battle Angel and make first run on Provident and Brenda Boy. But if they decide to hook up on that lead, you know, they're going to set up themselves for Provident and Brenda Boy finishing best of the rest. So those are my top picks there. 1 Battle Angel, the 5 Oil Machine, the 6 Provident, and the 10 Brenda Boy, with my slight edge going to Oil Machine, getting the first run on the latter two. The 9th and final, the Run Trophy. Well, this is a promising speed fest. I think a lot of these horses won't be seeing their feeding pans after this race, because this is going to be an absolute speed fest. I've boiled this race down to 5 horses, and if I don't pick the winner, you know, it will be understandable, because this is just such a competitive sprint. So I'm leaning towards my top 5. 2 Crypto Girl, 5 Commander Z, 8 Riches to Rags, 9 Teflon Dan, 11 Impressive Force. Okay, the horse I really like in the race is Impressive Force, because although a winner, a 1 start, 1 win, that was such an impressive win. He came out of the starting gate and hesitated. I don't know if because the horse inside of him threw the rider, but when he came out of the gate, he hesitated, and the rider had to really pump him just for him to run off, while the rest of the field had maybe 3 strides on him. And within the first furlong, he was maybe 6 lengths off the leader for the first furlong, and then he caught up to them by they reached the final 3, I think. And when the race was over, it didn't look like it was a race. He was so impressive in victory. So from a clean break here, I think this horse is definitely above average, but it's still yet to be seen against tested horses. But I really like that performance after he coming out of the gate and hesitated to run. All right, Crypto Girl now. I like Crypto Girl if the pace decides to fall. She's drawn 2, which means the speed is going to leave her, so she's going to stay on the rail and probably get to save up much ground. At the 3, if she can make a move there and the pace comes back, I think she'll be right there at the death. Commander Z, speedy start as well. I think he can be trained to start the pace, and I think that might be the best idea here for Commander Z. I think if he tries to go out front early, it's going to cost him in the stretch. So if he can stalk the pace, he probably will be a very dangerous horse in the stretch. Riches to Rags, definitely the horse you're going to have to beat here. 2 wins already and face much tougher horse. Beat Unbelievable Force, came back Unbelievable Force, turned the tables, then came back again, and Unbelievable Force came back again and won up in class. So that's giving a lot of strength here to Riches to Rags as the horse to beat. Claims £3 for his jockey R. Henry. Teflon Dan came off a very short rest and was a very decent run against an outer class Unbelievable Force. Was just nipped at the wire by Riches to Rags over that race. I think this race has stripped him much fitter, and I think he's definitely the kind that will be rated just behind the leaders, and if he produces a good run, I think it could carry him through to win. And coming from the stable of Jason DaCosta, who also has Motivate Me Baby in the race, who I think Jason DaCosta is going to kind of use as the horse to go in front and make sure they get a honest pace in front of them. I'm thinking Teflon Dan is a very dangerous horse in this race, especially like how he just got his recent pipe opener. And as I said, the 11 horse was very impressive on debut, and if he improves at a rapid state, he's definitely going to fight the finish out. So as I say, my top 5 horses are 2 Crypto Girl if the pace crumbles and she gets to run on, 5 Commander Z if they decide to rate him just off the pace, definitely has a shot. 8 Riches to Rags, the horse they're going to have to beat. He wins 2 races already. Teflon Dan, much better for a recent pipe opener. And the 11 Impressive Force, left to be seen how useful this horse really is. So those are my top 5s. Leaning towards probably Teflon Dan. I like his preparation for this race, so I'm leaning more towards Teflon Dan. I'm giving him a chance to can upstage these, and Impressive Force. All right, guys, I hope these tips are going to be helpful. Let's try to catch the pick 6 or the pick 9, because I'm an exotic play better. If I was going to buy a outer bet, I'd probably go with the 6 race Kismet And the 9th race, Crypto Girl, a win and place bet. You know, you can't get place on just 2 horses, but I would probably buy a win and place bet here and hope the 2 long shots running the money. Those are my outsiders of the day, Kismet and Crypto Girl. All right, guys, be safe, and we'll be back here tomorrow for racing on Sunday, the 29th. And I'll try to go through the races as accurately as I can. Okay, be safe.